Hi, I'm Ed O'Keefe of the Washington Post. Welcome to Charlotte and our coverage of the Democratic National Convention. We are once again in the media workspace here in the host city as festivities get underway officially on Tuesday. I'm joined by our chief correspondent, Dan Baltz, and national political correspondent, Karen Tumulty, how many conventions have you guys been to?
I don't even want to think about it.
Many.
Many. All right, fair enough. As we begin this week...
I do think the Whigs are ready for a comeback, though.
I heard that one was good. No, I'm kidding. But as we get ready for the Democrats, we wanted to ask Dan and Karen both what they're looking for this week, what perhaps you should be looking out for as well. So Dan, let's start with you.
Ed, one thing I'm looking for is this question of how does President Obama make the pivot from the kind of campaigning he's been doing, which is pretty tough on Governor Romney, to a more positive and more forward-looking message. I mean, I think one of the things that he hasn't done adequately is lay out what a second term really would look like. He's talked a lot about don't trust the other guys. I think he's got to make a more affirmative case for why he's got a second term agenda.
How about you, Karen?
Well, I'm really fascinated about the change in tone. I think that this is going to be a very defensive convention. And for those of us who were in Denver 4 years ago, it was all about hope and a sense of possibility. And now it is about defending yourself from essentially an existential threat.
Is there any other people out there that you might be keeping an eye on this week?
Well, there'll be a lot. I mean, at any convention where it's a president, an incumbent seeking re-election, people are also looking at the next generation because we know 4 years from now somebody is going to step up and try to lead this party. So there will be a number of people that we'll see this week. Governor O'Malley's on the prowl all week. We heard Governor Schweitzer from Montana this morning suggest that he's doing a lot of traveling or interested in doing a lot of traveling to Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina. Cory Booker was at the Iowa delegation today. I suspect that we'll see a procession of people at the Iowa and New Hampshire delegation. So there'll be a number of people. Elizabeth Warren will get a look when she speaks this week, depending on how her race in Massachusetts turns out.
And of course, there could be some unnamed state senator we've never heard of.
Exactly. I mean, don't forget, I mean, the person nobody was really thinking about in 2004 was the guy who took the stage and, 4 years later was president.
Right.
Exactly. Well, we'll be tracking it all throughout the week, of course, at WashingtonPost.com, on Twitter, on your iPod, on your iPad, and of course in the newspaper, if you happen to get one of those. Thanks for joining us, Dan Baltz, Karen Tumulty. I'm Ed O'Keefe. We'll talk to you throughout the week.